Good evening, Kyber Cave Productions family. Metso
Good
here. Look,
evening.
I feel so far away. There. Hello, good evening. Got my buddy Graveyard here
That's
this
so too.
week.
That's so too.
Metso too. I didn't see that before. Hi, Duran. How are you? Hello, Robin. JPPQ, Conventing Vegetarians. Nice to see you. Welcome in.
Yes.
Pokemon trainer Chica. Hello. I actually knew what that meant. I was very shocked that I knew what that meant. Hello, Chloe. Welcome in, guys. You're in for a good night because we got a lovely captain as our guest tonight, and we have a Saber
Yes.
giveaway of the captain. So it seems to go very, very well, very fitting. Hello, James. Beat boop. Give me that laser sword. You guys are great. Okay, thank you. As you see, Arctic Scala is not here tonight. I know, Say Wong. Well. I hit live before my clock said 7 o'clock. So Arctic Scala had a con today, and then he actually had an engagement afterwards. So Graveyard here is my co-host for the evening.
Hey.
We have a very fun, exciting show. So we got our nerdy news, we got our flow of the show, then we have a wonderful interview with Aubri. Boo again, okay. And then afterwards, we're doing the Saber giveaway and some announcement kind of like things. And then we have our talk of the town that we close out our show with. So very, very happy to see all you wonderful faces. Faces. I mean, names, I guess, because I don't really see your faces in the comments, obviously.
No, you might.
You might. All right. But first, what is it that we do? Do you, it's been a while, Graveyard, but do you remember what we do in this show first?
Yes, nerdy news.
The nerdy news for today. All right. So the nerdy news. Hey, what's up, Blacksmith Nerd Life?
Hey.
Good to see you. Our nerdy news for today. The Grand Admiral and Darth Vader joined forces in Marvel's Thrawn Alliance's #1 exclusive preview. These are graphic novels. Yes, as you can see from the picture. Hello, Oscar Pena. Hope you're well. If you would like to see more information on this graphic novel and Darth Vader and Grand Admiral Thrawn meeting up, you can check. So I just put the link is in the description for those watching the upload and the ones watching the stream. I just put it in the chat. Boo, guess who? I'm not going to guess anything. I'm going to keep going with my nerdy news. But there's the article down there in the chat if you would like to see it. Next on the nerdy news, and hello, Valerie. Nice to see you. Echo. So there's a new featurette that explores Maya Lopez's Choctaw history and legacy. Ooh. Now, one thing, hi, Robert from Blacksmith Cosplay. Awesome. One thing that I thought was really, really cool in this show, which I did watch the entire thing in like 2 days, is the heritage and history of the Choctaw and that they're being represented. And I just think that's wonderful and beautiful. And I want to learn more about it. So if you'd like to see the featurette, the article linked in the description below, and then I'm about to put in chat, has the YouTube link for this featurette. Oscar Pena, I read your comment. Yes. Hello. There's your comment on the screen now. So awesome. And so just check out that link in the description or in the chat. And you can find out more info about that. It is a very good show. I really did enjoy it. Did you get a chance to see it, Graveyard? All of it?
I have not finished it yet. I am far behind.
This is the first episode, so you're good.
Okay.
I don't know if I haven't had a chance. Hello, Summer. Hello, Grunting Kitty. I haven't had a chance to look at the featurette itself, but I have it saved to my watch later playlist so that I'll be able to see it. But I don't know. I assume it would have hi Matt. I assume it would have some spoilers, I'm guessing. Yeah. So probably best to watch the show and then watch the featurette. That's usually how it goes. You watch the show first, then you watch the behind the scenes stuff, you know? So boo once more McAllister family albums. Okay. Boo. Is that a thing Van was doing today at the cons or something?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of McAllister saying boo. I think people are just making sure they get their comments in to enter the chance to win the lightsaber tonight.
That is true. Yes, guys. If you are watching now and you would like to enter to win the lightsaber, all you have to do is leave a comment. I already have a tool counting all the comments. Once you comment, you're entered in. And it's only one comment, one entrance per account. If you have multiple YouTube accounts, you can sign on with another YouTube and comment that way as well. And have more chances. So, but one comment in, you post once, you're in the drawing. So you're good to go there. All right. So next on our docket, y'all, we have Flow the Show. And if you don't know what that is, because it's your first time here, Flow the Show is when we feature an artist that has a flow art, which is either sabers, gloving, fire dancing, something that is visually mesmerizing to the eyes. Excuse me. So without further ado, please enjoy this week's Flow the Show, which you'll see a link, I believe, in the description. I think. Did I forget description links? I might have actually forgotten description links. I'll fix that after the show. But this is Mystery Within. All right, so that was Mystery Within. So hello to the new people come in: Logan, Chloe, Lilith, Ryan, and Sugar Dough. Boo, I will never get old. I have a million accounts. Oh goodness gracious. All right, so thank you so much, Mystery Within, for a while back. He gave me permission to use a video of his if I would like. And I thought some of those cool. He's got a bunch of those levy sabers. Like he just uses the levy saber a lot. Hello, Chris. And I don't know how they work. I haven't seen a levy saber in person actually yet. And so when I watch, my brain looks at it and goes, that doesn't make sense because you can't see how they're doing it, like just from a camera angle. Right. So at one point, I do hope to see about it.
To me, it looks like they just have like a cord on it.
So so the giveaway is at the end of the show, but here's the information that you need to know. You cannot have one in the last 6 months, and you cannot be an employee of Kyber Cave. Well, guess what? None of y'all are that except for me. We haven't given one away in a little while, and I think most of the names here haven't really been here before. But what you need to do is, if you were not here at the end of the show to see it, then go back and watch the upload. It is your responsibility to contact Kyber Cave Productions to get your free saber if you've won. You get 1 week to contact us. Yes, none of us are employees. No, I'm an employee technically, in a sense. I'm actually okay. You're also Robin. Good to know. So if you win and you weren't here, you need to make sure you watch the upload and you see that you've won, and then you can contact Kyber Cave either at kybercave@gmail.com, or you can do kybercaveproductions@gmail.com, or you can find the store's Facebook page, Kyber Cave. And if you do the YouTube channel, I just make sure I forward it and get it to them. So just make sure you check that out. Yes. So you have to make sure to contact us, and you get 1 week before we move on and do the giveaway again for someone else. It was a pleasure being introduced to the Kyber product. Summer, I'm so glad to hear that.
Yes.
You're welcome, Oscar. So next we have our guest, guys. Our guest who has actually been on our channel since before I joined. Aubri, Captain Lady Moon, who is I'd say half a brainchild of this wonderful series that we have coming up. They made an RPG game that Graveyard and I are both involved in and get to play characters, and that's an upcoming series that we'll talk about. But she has so much more going on. She teaches sword fighting. She's an actor. She's a musician. She's just brilliant would be a good word. I see you rolling your eyes, young lady. Don't even. So without further ado, here is Captain Lady Moon, Aubri McCoy. Hello,
Yeah.
lady. Yeah, I saw you go like, oh, don't do that. Don't say that. For those who don't know, Aubri and I are really, really good friends. So I'm just kind of giving her a hard time. But yes, you are brilliant. And that is just in my head an understatement. But that's the first thing that's going to pop up for me. So.
Anyway. Hi, everyone. How are you all doing today?
This is Captain Lady Moon. I have to point this way because I put myself on the other side. Aubri Mccoy. She is our host who has been here since before I joined, shortly before I joined, though, if I remember correctly.
It's been about 2 years, not 2 months. 2 years.
I joined 2 years in April. So like we joined pretty close to similar times.
I think it was like 2 weeks before. It was a week or 2 weeks before you joined. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are very close in joining at the same time.
Very close in joining. And Aubri, if you don't know, does a lot on this channel. She is kind of like the brains of the planning right now behind Hearts of Kyber on Tuesday nights, and which has been great. But then the show we have upcoming, which is an upload series called The New Order, and we are very excited that will be premiering. We'll have a date sometime soon, but it will be on Fridays that it gets uploaded. But if you would like to check it out, we do have a teaser trailer on the channel, and I actually have it here ready for you guys. But we'll bring that up in a moment. But I first want to touch a little bit about some of the projects I've known you've done in the past and ones that you might have upcoming. What is one of your favorite projects that you have worked on? And tell us a little bit about it.
One of my favorite projects. Well, so there was a project that I did that I filmed probably about 2 years ago. So I mean, I've done quite a few different things, but and some of them either went on and was made and has been out and done stuff. One of them was doing a sizzle reel for a big project called Shadow Realms, and that unfortunately didn't pan out, but it was so much fun, and I'm actually really good friends with the director now, and we're working on some other projects. And then I did a short feature as the main character in 2019, 2020, and that was called The Tree Movie. But it won some awards, which is really great.
That's really neat.
Yeah, I was the worst psychologist ever, but it was great. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was written by one of my best friends and my producer, actually, who produced my album. And that was a lot of fun. We had a great time, and I actually did the music for that. I'm also a composer. Okay. So as you know, Mets, because I've been working on the music for The New Order.
She's awesome.
So that's some of the acting, my favorite acting. I've done other ones. Some are ridiculous. There's one that I did with my now friend. We weren't friends when I met him, but we did this comedy called Nerf Wars, and unfortunately the sound did not turn out well, but the filming was so much fun. We had such a great time. There was
say hi.
Hello, Horror Raven. There was just this one moment where there was a lot of improv going on between intakes, and we kept making these jokes like aliens, and it was hilarious. And I mean, it's probably not funny on here if you don't know the context, but there was, because aliens were involved, because of course, and they were turning Nerf guns into real weapons, and this guy was basically being compelled to get this other guy to come and join him in the Nerf wars, and he kidnapped his girlfriend, which was me. I was the girlfriend, but it was more just trying to so the aliens were going to attack, and they were using Nerf guns as real weapons. It was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous thing.
I loved it, though. It sounds very Velocipaster.
Oh, it is. Yes, absolutely. And we just had so much fun, and things kind of changed and morphed because we were doing a lot of improv.
Can anyone see it anywhere? Can we see it anywhere on anything?
I don't think so, only because unfortunately the audio, it was really windy that
Yeah, you
day,
mentioned the
and
sound didn't go very well.
the sound did not turn out well at all, unfortunately. And so it just did not mount anything. But I had hoped it would turn out well because I really loved the absurd concept of it. Shout out to Tim Salas if he ever sees this. I love you, dude. You're great. He's
I'm
gone
hitting
on and done
hearts
other
because I
things.
trust Aubri
Hearts for
with his.
Tim. That was his
Uh,
brainchild, and I adored all of that. So other than that, like that's just basically I've just done a lot of like really more like indie stuff. And I did a play as I've done a couple plays that were really great. I've done a few things here and there, so pretty much
awesome.
for acting.
When did like the acting entertainment bug bite you? Like when it came to just anything that you wanted to do, music, art, anything like
Oh,
that?
I've been performing since I was 3, so I've been doing this practically my whole life, performing on stage,
The
doing stuff.
closest I got to performing was when I was like 9. I wrote little pieces of paper for my family to sit in, and I put chairs out in rows, and oh gosh, it was terrible. Wonderfully terrible. It was like a fond experience for my family, but when I think about it, I think about how I felt as a little kid, and they were laughing at me because what I was doing was cute. But at that age, you don't know what you're doing is cute. You just think they're laughing at you. Now, when did you? I know that you're like because she's a musician, she's a composer, she sings, she does some amazing stuff on computer programs for music. For those who don't know, she actually wrote, you'll hear it at the end of the show. She wrote our Patreon song. That's the song I have up there, is written by her. So when you went to music, was there something specific that you were going into, like when you were getting into the learning about music and going to school and such? A specific goal that maybe even turned out differently?
That's a complex
Interesting
question.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's loaded. It was just a bit loaded. That's fine. It's complex. So the first part of that question is I was specifically a singer. I did a lot of performing as a singer, and I took voice lessons, and I was in a lot of choirs and such. So I went to school actually and practiced and learned. I got my degree in classical music, and that was mainly with singing in general as my major, my specialty of classical music. But I also ended up taking years of theory because every music student has to take at least 4 years of theory. I took 6. And I ended up just really loving music. I started writing music when I was probably about 10. I think I wrote my first song at 10. It was a nothing song. It was not anything. And then I started writing piano music because I started practicing piano. And the things that didn't turn out well, I just thought I would just be a big performer, and that did not end up happening. So,
I think for a lot of us,
I am performing, but
it's not like
I'm
what you
still
had
trying.
thought, right?
Yeah.
Like all of us who go into performing, I mean, I'm one of those people. You have those aspirations of like huge things, but in a way, I'm actually pretty happy. I'm not like performing in front of massive amounts of people, and I'll tell you why. Because after all the years of seeing how some celebrities get treated and how their lives go, I kind of enjoy the anonymity of being able to go to the store without anyone knowing who I am. Like I kind of enjoy that part of it.
I mean, if I do still get there, because there's still a chance. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, no, gosh, absolutely.
I'm glad that I have, it didn't happen at least until I was an adult, because I know how much, there's such a dark side to the entertainment industry, and I've seen a bit of that. I've seen a little bit of that, because I have had, some run-ins with a bit of that, and it's a little dark. It can be dark.
Definitely, absolutely. I can understand that. Now, for those who don't know, she's also a really fantastic canvas artist. And yesterday she got to have a reception for being Artist of the Month. Tell us a little bit about how that came about.
They just called me up and was like, "Hey, we really love your art. Do you want to be Artist of the Month?"
And they had a reception and stuff. That's so.
And they did a reception. I actually took watercolor classes when I was 10, and then I stopped painting for years, for like 20 years or something like that. And then during the pandemic, I started taking it up again. Am I great? No. But It's fun. To me, I don't think I'm that
have
great.
to disagree with you. I have to disagree about not being great. I think she's great. I even showed my mother-in-law the picture you posted the other day of your painting, and she thought it was absolutely beautiful. So, so people do like it, and so I'm very proud of you and congratulations on being Artist of the Month. I tried some painting on canvas, and I'm not very good. So,
we can always get together sometime and
we'll do like a painting night, but just
yeah,
us
we
two.
should totally do it. That'd be
Wine
fun.
and paint.
I
Although
like
I
it.
prefer maybe a beer instead. Right, graveyard.
Yeah, a few that I tried doing. So I'm a big Star Trek fan. That's my nerd, my nerd life. Yeah, sorry, Star Wars fans. No, I'm also a really big Star Wars fan. I was called Luke in high school, so you know, Luke Skywalker. So I was also a Star Wars fan, but I'm really big into Star Trek.
Like, yeah, you said
The reason why I'm bringing
Skywalker,
this up,
like they wouldn't know it was Skywalker.
I know. I'm like, so
You're like Skywalker.
Luke
Oh,
Skywalker.
that Luke. Oh, okay. Like, not the other Luke in Star Wars.
Not the other. Anyways, what I was trying to say is that yeah, so I actually have I did a series of paintings called The Last Frames for the themes for Star Trek themes. So that was some of the paintings that were up there. I like doing celestial bodies and I like doing a lot of landscapes. So, and I have plans to do this really big mural of this beautiful temple in Indianapolis. That's my next big painting I want to do. But yeah, that's basically it. That's what I do.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the new order, which is yes, we're very excited about this. She and I have been working hard on getting this set up. But she and Mel, who created this, now when did like in a sense, when and where did the idea of making this come from? Oh no, that sounds like another loaded question, possibly.
No, I'm just like, oh, here we go. So
here you go.
There we go. All right. So we started writing the new order, like as in, okay, we're gonna do this as a role-playing game, like for everybody, like getting it published and everything. Started in 2015. However, we've been building the bricks since we were like 12 years old. So this has been so many, and it started out. The funny thing is, it started as a fan fiction idea. If anyone doesn't know what fan fiction is basically you take existing IPs and you make your own stories out of them. That is what we started doing when we were like 12.
Some people did it before it was specifically called fan fiction too.
Yeah, I always thought it was called fan fiction, but I mean, I don't know. But
I
anyway,
think maybe before people realized what it was called, like when internet wasn't the big thing everywhere.
So it's like what? I don't know.
Critical Role, which is another.
Oh, it's like Critical Role. Oh, I thought the C was an A. I don't know what's wrong with me. Yes, Say Wong. It's sort of like Critical Role. Yeah, I actually was in a role playing channel before called Quest and Chaos, and it was actors doing role playing games. They're like playing, playing D&D, and that was a lot of fun. And it's I guess they're still going on. I left in 2020, and I don't even know where I was going there. But yes, it's like Critical Role.
Yeah, it's like Critical Role. So when we had started discussing this show like a year ago on the channel.
It's been a year.
No, more than that. Yeah, it's been like a year. Where several of us have chosen characters and their attributes. We have a show sheet and everything that kind of like guide us through our adventure. And Aubri, our Captain Lady Moon, is our dungeon master. I can't wait to see Larry and Susan again. Wait, please explain what this is, because I missed what
Jerry and Elevere. It's Jerry and Elevere, but remember, Dante thinks he just calls Jerry Larry.
Right,
and
I forgot.
Susan.
For those you'll have to see on the upload.
You'll have to see it. Great.
Okay, you'll have to watch the show.
Anyways, the new order, the brainchild of my dear friend. She's basically my sister. We've known each other since my 12th birthday. Actually, she just showed up as my 12th birthday as a stranger, and we just immediately clicked. And she's basically family to me. She's like when I've known her family since even before her sister was born. Her younger sister, and we've just been kind of inseparable TPs in a pod. And so we started writing in 2015, and we really wanted a fast system. Now, this is not my first time participating in the writing of a role-playing book. So I kind of know how to do a little bit, at least how to get started. But her and I really worked on getting so I had some idea of already like what I wanted, and she added her. Of course, she knew what she wanted to do, and we weren't, since both of us weren't strangers to role-playing games, we kind of just really worked on it. Of course, there was bits and times when we would fall off on working on it, but we were very close to finishing it by 2020 when I left Quest and Chaos. Then we did a beta game, and the people that joined our beta game had so much fun that I was like, well, let me bring it to you guys when I joined this channel. And we've really been just working on it and working on it and working on it for the past year.
It's been like a slow burn of love labor, and then really ramped up. And yes, Wong, it might sound like Critical Role because it is an RPG role-playing game that we're doing with dice and stuff like that.
It's not D&D,
it's not D&D, and it's not Critical Role exactly. It's a big difference is like the whole storyline behind it is something that Aubri and Mel are like that they're writing what the storyline is of the world. And then our characters are writing their own specific adventure in this world. And I have never done anything like this before. And I was like kind of nervous the first episode or two. Like I was like, okay, how do I do this? I'm going to do this so wrong. At least I can edit my idiocy out when I come to edit stuff. But it's just a lot of fun. And you have moments that you come to where it feels like it's something that like someone wrote in a book that are like perfect moments, or like, you just can't write that kind of stuff. It just comes out naturally with all of our characters and when they interact and such. And so it's a lot of fun. And so let's go ahead and play the teaser trailer for people real quick.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Teaser trailer will give you an idea of the characters that you will see. And we'll have a longer version of the trailer ready before long that gives you a background on each character. But here is our teaser trailer for The New Order.
Yeah, so those are the characters.
Yeah, so those are the characters that we have in this season of The New Order. I really hope that after we do this season of it, we'll take a break and then maybe a second season.
Yeah, I hope so.
Their hosts too, as well. Like, and we have new characters and stuff because that would be so much fun.
That'd be so much fun. So the idea. Yeah, can I give them a little bit of the
absolutely
what the story basically is? So
give it.
Yeah, so in the year 2000, a man who has been a upper echelon businessman of England comes out on TV and announces that he's actually a 6,000-year-old vampire, and that he is done with humans, basically tearing up the world. And he decides that he's going to declare war on humanity and also his own son, who has joined with humanity, and starts this war called the Ever War. Now, spoiler alert, humans lose, and now the world has been like cities and town, like all modern, like our modern technology has been basically banned, and now it's gone back. The world has gone back to this kind of states of feudalism with vampires and rule, and humans are slaves. And that is called the New Order. But it is kind of tough to run a whole new order for the whole world. So you've got like these pockets of things, and one of these pockets of like no man's lands, or the outer world, or even some that are still like so. The rebel forces are called Dawn. Dawn is the other faction, and they're the ones that had sided with humanity. And so now it's been 20 years since that's happened, as I said, and so everyone's kind of living in this weird implicated post-apocalyptic kind of world. And where we are taking place in the campaign is Canada, which is known as the underworld or no man's land or the wilderness, because that's where you mostly have beastlings. Beastlings are shapeshifters, basically, humans that turn to, that, or sorry, animals that can turn to humans, and vice versa, and werewolves and gangs. You have a lot of gangs and just like these falling cities that are just kind of falling apart slowly, because no one's really maintaining them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where we're taking place is here in Canada, and it shows a lot of disarray and the way the order is structured and what's going on. So there's a lot of so it's both political, but it's also like you just have the story of like these people who are dealing with living in this world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's necessarily
Yeah, and then no man's land is like the in between of the societies that came from this war that happened.
Yes.
All these different factions and groups and creatures and abilities that they all have. What platform? So Graveyard just asked, what platform do you use and what kind of dice do you use?
So we use the 6-sided dice. And right now, to make it easier for the people who are playing right now, we have been using Roll20, which is a free online role-playing platform. So you can so you don't have to necessarily all be in person to play. You can play online. And so it's very fast, 6-sided. It's combined storytelling of both, your GM, just like you do in roll and like D&D or something, but it's not as complicated dice. I think the most complicated dice part of it is it's just like knowing, where does everything sit, because you have like shortcomings and this, you part of your traits, you have shortcomings and fortes, and they add, and your skills, and they all add they add the modifiers to your basic traits, your basic my brain, your core stats. And then you have something we call the luck die, and that is a big part of this system. So I don't know, it's pretty. We like to think it's pretty easy to pick up and learn, but with you guys learning how to play, I'm sure it's not as easy as we think it is, because we've been living with it for so long.
So this is my first time from my perspective, right? This is my first time ever doing any kind of RPG game. The first show, I didn't figure out how to get the Roll20 up, so I used my own dice at first.
You can,
which isn't like normal dice. They're lines instead of dots. But when it came to learning how to play, actually, it came along a lot easier than I expected. So you have sided dice, your traits and your like skills and such each have a value number on your sheet. And so like if you're walking into a situation, like your character's walking into a situation that you aren't sure what's going on, you might roll for your awareness to see if your character becomes aware, like sees something coming or whatever. And say my awareness is 6, and you have so you would roll six-sided dice.
Yes,
if I remember correctly. So that's how you play. Like, and so you come into a situation, and then you also can make decisions, right? Not just straight up roll. First, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but on a recent recording, my character had to decide something to do. And I look at my show sheet, my character sheet, on what my character knows how to do, and I get to pick something. I'm going to pick this skill. You roll that skill, and it will decide like what might happen. Your character could even, we
had someone knock themselves out with their own attack.
Yeah, we had someone knock themselves out with their own attack and stuff. So it's fun that kind of stuff is able to happen, because like it gives it excitement of not feeling safe completely. And
I mean that happens with a lot of D&D games, but the big thing that I think that we do is that if you do get a 1, it doesn't necessarily mean that you fail. It just means that something else could happen. So Mezzo's character is a witch, And so we have different witch skills. Like there's a big old power system that we have, or magic system that we have in there.
Mhm.
And she may do a spell and she may fail the spell like in ones. Because it's just like in a lot of other games, you can have 6 or you can have a 1, and that does determine stuff that happens. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to fail. She might still do the power, but it might either come back to hit her, or it might hit someone
Mhm.
she's not aiming for, or it might fizzle and do whatever it's going to do. It's good. That's why you have the luck die in play. So when you do that, you roll a luck die and see what happens with that
Yes.
luck. So
And then if
it
you
is
roll 4, 5, or 6, that's a success.
was a success. Mhm.
Yes. So if you
So
like,
it's
if you
supposed to be
roll,
very fast.
like if you have to roll 4 dice and all they're like 5 and 6s, just know that your character probably did a really good job on that outcome. So sometimes you'll have, like we said, we had a character that knocked themselves out with their own spell because
They got
that's just
two.
how the
They got
dice
2
rolls.
and 2 ones. So I
Yeah,
mean,
it's a little sad. Like it still happened, but not as intended.
yeah, we also
So
didn't want players to be rolling a bunch of dice. So,
yeah, exactly.
so when she said like if you have a 6 on your awareness, that's like the best of the best. So your average for it is like a 2. That's like the
Yeah.
average dice, and that is still really it's really good. Like if you have a 1, that's still doing okay. Like it's not meant
And
to
with the
be
higher the
like
number, the more chance you have for more success, basically.
right.
And
It's numbers. I mean, but it's supposed to be like easier numbers so that people aren't just like, min-maxing. That's the other thing, is that we
yes.
did not want people to min-max on this game. We wanted it to be that they could have fully fleshed out, thoughtful characters and use the stats to reflect those characters. So the characters that people have come up with, and for instance, in this show here, directly reflect a lot of that. So that was a huge thing we wanted to do with this role-playing game, is we just really wanted it to be a very character-based storyline where you're not min-maxing a character sheet. So your characters are interesting, they have a very full and fleshed out background, and that those stats reflect it. While it's
Yeah,
also very
what she
fast
means
paced,
by
you're not
fully
rolling a bunch of
fleshed
dice.
out background, she actually sat with us to create the backstories for our characters, and we even right here in my office had a little role playing session to get. We had recorded it, but unfortunately, technology caused the recording to be lost. Which really,
Thanks,
really,
Nathaniel. Thanks.
who's that?
Nathaniel Redthorn. Never mind. He's the leader of the New Order, the one that banned.
Oh, right. I was like, wait,
Star
okay,
Trek
who's
nominated.
that? Because it sounded familiar. So,
Sorry,
yeah, unfortunately,
Nathaniel
the
Redthorn is
drive.
the guy that came out and said that.
I was
Just so you
moving
know
a
it.
USB drive to move the recording from one computer to another, and it died in between. And I sent it in to see if I could get it replaced, but it was like $700 to just get the videos back. And I was like, sorry. So, but she sat with us to create the background of our characters, and I'll tell you, after doing 4 recordings, that's what we've done so far. It really, a lot of what happens is very character driven by like what we decide, and then my favorite is when the characters do finally interact and meet each other. The fun chemistry that plays out too. Like, I mean, even ones that weren't necessarily us signing up, because Aubri here also plays characters for us, kind of like the NPC version if it was like a video game.
It's pretty much NPCs, yeah.
And but they do have their own minds and choices, and then they start interacting with our characters and all of us together. It turns out quite hilarious and great at the same time. Like there's a line that she doesn't know about that way that I have saved for one of the characters that has something about them, and I'm like, for whatever reason, I cannot wait to say it. I feel like it's impactful, I guess. Anyway, so also when you're watching the recording, it's not just we have so the Roll20 that she talks about is a chat command side that you put a command in to roll your dice. So
yeah.
And then on next to that section, there's actually like the game board, and Aubri has images for like where in the scene we are, little icons for us and everything. And it's actually extremely helpful in visualizing the story and where people are in the room of your what scene we're in or whatnot. And that was in this most recent recording, we had the little icons and stuff, and it really is super helpful. Like I'm only on episode 1 editing, but I cannot wait to get to episode 4 so I can like zoom in and when you move something around or whatever.
It's just a lot of fun. I mean, I've done a few I've done a few gameplays of this as we've had it now. We're almost done. We're going to be looking for publishers very soon so we can publish it so everyone else can look at it and play it.
Yeah.
We just had some stumbles along the way of it. So yeah, but I'm so happy that we've started recording
I
it.
have early access to a game.
Yes, it's like early access. But
we're doing the beta early access version. which is fun. And Aubri and I have been working hard here on like the teaser trailer, character images, background stories for all of them and such. We're going to be having merch that we're designing this coming week that we're going to be making that will come out like the week that we start the show. We'll have some merch available on the shop. Oh, and if you want to check out our shop, it's kcpmerch.com. We've got lots of different things. We have phone cases. We have shirts. We have hoodies.
So many things. I almost put on my shirt, but
we have a notebook. We have water bottle, which I'm sending to Aubri pretty soon this week. We have a lot of fun stuff. So if you check out kcpmerch.com, you can check out our merch. You can see it scrolling down below. Thank you, Graveyard. Great off-screen producer for the interview. I can see you smiling.
We also yes, and I just want to let you know real quick. Melody and I also have been writing stories alongside the role-playing book. So we do have characters that do, like we have, they're told from their perspective of the events that from before the Everwar to after the Everwar, and like how the Everwar actually came about. And some of the main campaign story will be taking place in those books.
I 100% would love to see this like as a graphic novel series.
It would be awesome. That would be so much fun. These characters are very fleshed out. They're very like I know these characters like they're my old friend, like Nathaniel.
My children.
They're more like older you guys. Like it, but it's fun to write them. It's fun to share this story with everybody. So, and this role-playing game, because the thing is you don't have to do the main campaign. We're going to have bits of the main campaign, and we're really interested to see how people interact with that, just so we can so that it's really fun to see what other people who play the game will come up with the basics of these characters, and then to see how they react when these books do come out.
I see Graveyard's making a point. Man, if only DN knew some comic book creators to help. So maybe there's a possibility to get in contact with them in the future. And who knows? Yeah. It would be so cool to see that. Oh my gosh. I would like buy a copy for my kids. I'd buy a copy for myself. I'd buy one for my husband and my mama. like read it. Gosh, can you imagine my mom reading a graphic novel? That would be interesting.
Very fun. But I'm super happy that I've got these amazing characters. We have Frey Girl, Shadu, Graveyard, and Metz that are playing on the first season. I hope we have more for the second season.
Yeah, it would be so cool to have like 3 more people and then have a huge like cast. That would be spectacular.
My gosh, it would take so long to get stuff done.
But I think it's good that we started with 5 of us in total, because she also does Dungeon Master and other characters. I think it's good started off this way to kind of get used to the game itself. And it's kind of like a warm up to maybe a second season with more people. So
if you have any questions, please feel free to sorry.
Leave comments if you'd like to ask a question about the game or about Aubri's schooling or musicianship, the acting that she's done in general. Now, I'm going to switch gears just a little bit.
Yeah.
So I know you teach sword fighting.
I do.
Touch on that a bit. Where that came from, how it came to be, and everything.
So I was always interested in swordplay and sword fighting and using and getting into and just the whole skill itself. The just fighting in general was really interesting to me. Like doing martial arts and doing all that. And I originally in middle school, actually, I had a friend who did life steal fighting and started to a little bit get into that, but it didn't really go anywhere. It was very slow going.
For the audience, can you explain what life steal fighting is?
So life steal is you are using actual steel weapons. Like they can be dulled a bit for practice, but it's you're basically going at each other with real swords. They're just usually dulled. That's lifesteal.
Okay. Yep. Just wanted to make sure
And
that they
I,
understood that too.
yeah, it's like training for like with real weapons. And so I'd gotten to a little bit of that, but nothing really serious. And so in college, on my first night of college, I met a person who fought, but they used Shinai, but they were like a martial artist, and he fought and basically challenged me to a duel that night. And from that, so right after school, we went to the parking lot, and he had swords in his car, and we fought. And he kicked my butter. The fight was like over like 5 minutes, less than
He
that.
kicked your Patushi.
He cooked my boots, but I was cooked.
It's a
I was like,
family-friendly
how
show.
can
We
I-
can't swear on this episode.
my boots. Yeah, my butt. He kicked my butt. And my derriere. There we go. Is that better?
Oh my goodness, we both like at the same time. We're like derriere.
Derriere. Anyway, yeah, so I became completely hooked to fighting. And he got me into doing these classes that they had every week. And so we did one-on-ones, and we also did group battles. And so I was doing that for a while, for almost 4 or 5 years. And then he and I actually got referred to another teacher to do more one-on-one. And that is the teacher that I had up until the point that he actually passed away. He passed away in 2018. And so then when he passed away, the other more experienced and teachers who were part of this school is called the Black Swords. We still have a Facebook page on Facebook right now. Actually, it's still active. But when he passed away, the other teachers were either moving out of the area, or they had disengaged by that time from Black Swords. So I ended up taking over as the teacher for Black Swords when that happened. And I still meet with my other teachers, because I had 2 other teachers besides Darren. There was Darren, Henry, and Mike, and they were the main teachers of the Black Swords. And so I still see Henry, but it was Darren who passed away. And Mike moved up to Seattle. So
Gotcha.
so Henry was supposed to take over, but then he moved to Fresno. So then it was up to me. And so I took over, and then I've been teaching since 2018.
So is this an open group that anyone can join?
An open group. Anyone can join. We meet on Sundays. If you are in the Bay Area and you want to join up to the Black Swords, we generally meet at Rockridge Bart in Berkeley from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Awesome.
And we go over the basics. We spar.
What we'll do is, because I don't have a link for it at this moment, but what I can do is I'll get a link from Aubri for the group, and we'll post it on our Facebook page. So those of you who are nearby and want to get involved, you can actually join the group, and you can actually go and learn from Aubri how to sword fight. I actually have, you know what? I'm going to show it to you real quick. Hang on.
Oh, what do you have? Oh.
Even though you've been in here a few times, I'm not sure if I've ever shown it to you.
Oh, you've got your blade. That is awesome.
This one's mine.
That one's beautiful.
Yeah,
I have a real blade as well. I have a working blade. It's a ninja toe.
I've never fought with it, but it has straps so like you can wear it on your back and stuff, which I don't know how to put it on.
I have cut with my working blade, which
does that get me excited for some reason? That to the imagine of cutting something like not a person.
Yeah, we would do. I haven't been able to go and do like cutting practice myself. I haven't been able to to host one, but I've gone to plenty of them. And basically, what you do is you have either wetted down mats, or you have jars of water in them. Generally plastic jars, because I don't know why we would use glass. We don't want to damage our expensive live steel swords, but we keep it very sharp. My sword is very sharp. My working blade, it's over there.
I don't think mine's very sharp. It's been a long time since it's been
I keep mine sharp. Mine is very sharp. And I've actually just grinded it recently. And we've done cutting practices, and I've done a lot of that. So what you do why you have cutting practices is to see where your skill and your technique is.
Yeah.
And I have learned several different styles of sword fighting from different areas. I know how to do like a rapier Florentine style, which is a dual. It's more of it's a Spanish / French style of
Okay.
fighting, and it is it's very fluid. It's a lot of circular motion. It is a dual wielding style that I've used. So the concept of the black swords is that we teach you the basics, and then you develop your own technique of style. And then the other style that I know that I've been learning for the last 5 years, 4 or 5 years, because I still go get lessons and still get taught by
Yeah. We
one of
always
my
have to
teachers when I see him.
keep up with
You always have to keep
our
it up.
art.
And the one that I have been learning recently is a close combat style, which is an African style. So you
Okay.
use a very you use shorter blades, and one's a very, very short, like knife blade, and the other one is more like a hooked scimitar, which is pretty short. It's like maybe four feet, maybe if that, 3.5, 4 feet. And so it's not very. Am I saying that right? I don't know. No, it's inches. Sorry, feet is long. Inches.
I was
Like
like,
maybe
wow,
34 inches.
that's
No,
short.
no, no, no,
Or
no,
like,
no. It's not short. No, no, no. I'm sorry. I apologize. 34 to 36 inches. It's more on the smaller
okay.
side.
So it's
Yeah.
at least it's 3 feet or less, kind of like a little
Yes,
bit less.
it's 3 feet
Maybe.
or less. It's less
Okay.
than 3 feet.
That feels a
I'm
little
an
bit more
idiot. Don't
normal. But
mind
like,
me.
you're not.
I
Don't
didn't mean
even.
good. I made a
Okay.
mistake of the feet.
So
I
now I
realized.
know. Now, do you always practice with lifesteal, or are there other options
No,
people can use?
no. We generally do not practice because because we are teaching you actual like real martial art training stuff. We do not want people to get hurt. So we don't fight with armor. The only thing that we use is gloves and sometimes helmets. So we don't want to actually injure you. This is not
Yeah.
the
Just in case you
that's not
didn't
the point.
know.
So, but this is to teach you real combat maneuvers. So if you get into a fight, you can defend yourself. And
Gotcha.
it is
Yeah.
about like not only just not necessarily getting into the fight and getting it, but it's if you have to be in a fight, is to get that person on the ground as fast as possible and you to get out of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just a willing to go and challenge people to fight. That's not what we're doing. But we do need to do it safely. So we use Shinai, and we go over techniques. We do sparring sessions depending on what your level is. That's how fast the sparring. Whether we do it in real time sparring or we do it at a third of the speed or half speed, because you have to learn how to do. It's muscle memory, right? You have to do all
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. It's something you have to do over and over slowly before you are really
Yeah,
able to
my
do
first
it properly.
teacher, it was hard and fast all of the time, and you learned by pain. And so when I first started, I got welts all over my body, like
Mm-hmm.
all over. I would go home and I would just be covered in bruises. But we don't do that because we don't want to send people home. 2, injuring yourself is never fun. I mean, you're still going to get whacked. You're still going to get hurt in a sense. But the goal is not to injure you.
Yeah.
We want to teach you how to protect yourself.
This sounds kind of like, it gives me, this is going to sound strange, fond memories when you talked about welts.
Oh, yeah.
Because for those who don't know, Mezzo here did some martial arts once upon a time. And I did 2 different, like I can say, sessions in my life. I did it as a kid, but the second time as an adult, I did it at a school where they only wore like, not even like, it's not obviously not full gloves, but you have like a cover for your hands and your feet and then your head, and that was it. There was no arm padding, leg or chest padding, none of that. And when you got to black belt, you didn't have any armor whatsoever. But when we did sparring in class, you would get welts like on your shins or something if you didn't hit something right. My arms would be bruised from blocking people. So it like gave me fond memories, but I understand the aspect on teaching that your head instructor had about pain. Because if your body knows that doing this wrong hurts, like because you're blocking wrong, you're going to learn to block correctly or whatever.
But the big difference was my first teacher it was not necessarily teach you like there was almost a sadistic side to it. I love my teacher. I still talk to this teacher. I still learn, but he more got something out of it, and that's why he was so brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you do something stupid, you're going to get hurt. That's generally it. I have been hit in the head a lot. You learn to block your head. I have been hit in so many places, my hands. So it's more of like, you don't have necessarily rules, because the thing is when you're in a real fight, rules go out the window. People don't give a shit about, or crap about rules.
That's the very different. Yeah.
So it's generally like, these are the things you have to do to protect yourself. Protect your head. You protect your hands, because if you get hit in the hands, you're going to be in shock. That's if you get hit with anything and you get enough of pressure against your hands, they're either going to break or you're going to be in so much pain that you're not thinking. So it's mostly just like, you're fighting with this and you're fighting with these. Like, that's kind of how it is, because the swords are extension of your body.
And for those who don't know, there's a correct way to punch. There is
a correct way to punch.
You can't. So like, I'm not going to go into the details.
Yeah, you don't want to
like,
do like
you use the two knuckles here, straight wrist, but you need these two knuckles. These two are too weak. If you punch with your two weaker knuckles, you'll likely break your hand. So you always punch with these two.
I also took
this one knows a little bit sometimes. I only did Taekwondo. I got to first degree black belt in Taekwondo. Tried to do it again as an adult, but that's when my body itself started having these issues, and I ended up having to have 3-foot surgeries and all that jazz. Everyone knows about that. Not everybody, okay, but no one needs to hear about that. All right, so we're getting ready to wrap up here, but I want to remind people, New Order. It's been a long time in the making, and we're very excited about it. So please subscribe to our channel if you are not subscribed, so that you don't miss out when the New Order starts, because there are some exciting, fun things that happen in these stories. It's like my new favorite TV show kind of a thing that I want to like do it again. But it kind of gives you, it makes me excited for something else to look forward to. And I hope our viewers will feel the same way when they watch it for the first time. So thank you, Aubri, so much for coming on the show. This is technically my second interviews on the show. So I was very excited to step in, and we were such good friends that when we chat, it kind of feels like it's just natural to chat as we do. So thank you so much, Aubri. Guys, don't forget, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss on New Order. And my dear Captain Lady Moon, have a wonderful evening.
You too. Bye. Bye, guys.
I'm huge. Sorry. Startled me. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. So that was Aubri Mccoy, our Captain Lady Moon, as we call her on the channel. If you guys didn't know that kybercave.com, which sells their sabers that are owner van, it's his store. He actually has named a bunch of the sabers after us hosts. And the saber that we are going to be giving tonight is the Captain, which is named after Aubri. Here is a picture of it. That is it in the center. That will be the saber that is being given away tonight. Now, reminder we're going to be doing the giveaway in just a moment, so stick around. But just a reminder, you cannot have won a saber in the last 6 months. You cannot be an employee of Kyber Cave or Kyber Cave Productions, which nobody here except for me qualifies as that. If you do not live close by, you will have to pay for shipping, which is not that expensive. But you will have to pay for shipping. If you live close by, you can just go to the shop to pick it up. You'll just have to arrange it with them on the phone, or stop by during their open business hours. I suggest calling though, just in case. All the boxes check marked. Thank you, Say Wong. Yeah, goodness gracious. Who's ready for a giveaway? In the comments, let me hear you. Who's ready for a giveaway? Anybody?
Anyone?
There's always a delay.
Let's give them a minute to put one last comment in case they haven't commented yet, because we do have a sponsor to talk about too, do we not?
What sponsor are you talking about?
Sponsor? It's what's going across the screen right now. Dubby.
Wow.
I know. So whether you're just waking up on Saturday morning, nerd out, stuck in your retro alcove for hours at a time, stay up late gaming with us, or tired from all your saber fights, our sponsor is just for you. Dubby contains no artificial colors, no fillers, no dyes, none of that bad stuff. And it contains Neurofactor, which is derived from the coffee fruit. It contains 150 milligrams of caffeine, which is equivalent to 2 cups of coffee. And because it contains Neurofactor, it gives all the energy and focus with none of the jitters. So To save 10% off, go to www.w.gg and use code KCP2023 for 10% off. Thank you, Debbie.
Yes, thank you, Debbie. Now, I see people. Aubri, of course you didn't bore anyone. Stop it, young lady. All right, so, guys, it is time for our giveaway.
Yes.
Who is ready for our giveaway? All right, so you will get drawn from this if for some reason I get chosen because I did put a comment in the chat saying hi to my son. I will just redraw again. Reminder for the person who wins, you have to contact the store or the channel. I'll just forward it to the store. But you need to contact us. You get 1 week to contact us. And if you do not contact us before Sunday next week, next show, we will do another giveaway and you will no longer have the Saber. So guys, who's ready?
Yes,
I'm ready.
Do it.
Let's do like the drum roll. All right, here we go. Here we go. Who's gonna win? Oh, who's gonna win the captain? Oh my goodness! Of course, our Chloe McAllister.
Chloe,
you won. I know you're here. I saw
yeah.
your name 1 minute ago. So Chloe McAllister, you have won the Saber. Please email kybercave@gmail.com to let them know that you were the Saber winner. And they will arrange things for the Saber. And you have won the captain. And to give everyone, to remind you what it looks like, here's a picture of the captain, which is right there in the center. It comes with a bunch of different colors and everything. And so, yes, Way. She said, no way, but yes, Way. And James Hall said, that's my girl. So congratulations, Chloe. Congratulations, Chloe McAllister, for your win on tonight's Saber. Now, we give a Saber away every 100 subs. So share the channel, people. She's freaking out. Well, I'm glad you're freaking out. Very excited for you. Share our channel. Tell your friends. Say, look, they give away a Saber. She entered in with 10 accounts. Holy smokes. Tell your friends and family and have them come and sub. We've got some great variety entertainment. We have great shows. You can find out the information about them in the channel below. We have a new show called Unpopular Opinion. That's kind of like, it's not got a regular schedule just yet, but we do have the first 2 episodes up currently. We do have Retro Alcove, which comes out tomorrow night with Mccoy here playing Titanic. And then Graveyard here is actually going to be taking a break for a short time.
Yes, I am.
We completely support on KCP here our hosts taking breaks and also going and doing other projects because we support the dreams of people going out there and wanting to do some other things. So James Hall says, we told everyone to subscribe. You guys are great. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Chloe's going to share everywhere. Wait until you get the Saber Hun. You're going to be so excited. We have our Tuesday night show, Hearts of Kyber, which is mental and physical health discussion. I believe there's 2 more shows of that before we take a break from that show for a month. It's like 1 or 2 more. And that's at 5 p.m. Pacific. Retro Alcove is an upload. Hearts of Kyber is a stream. We have some gaming content that we're also that's not Retro Alcove. That's like usually streams, but we're actually kind of figuring out some schedule stuff that we might be moving around for that. At the moment, and then Saturday morning we have this dude's brainchild, Saturday morning Nerd Out.
Yes.
Which we talk about topics of announcements, movies, TVs, games, horror, anything like that has been announced that week, and we will discuss it. Yes, Van will return next week on Sunday night. We will discuss those things on Saturday morning, and we also do a little fun Star Wars Mad Libs while we're there.
We do.
So tune into all those other shows, guys. If you want the extra descriptions and information about them, they're in the description below. And thank you so much for tuning in. Or better yet, just let Mitsu take over. Stop it, Say Wong.
Oh.
Ooh, ouch. Yeah, shots fired. Shots fired. Bam, bam, bam. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to us. And please enjoy tonight's Talk of the Town. And don't forget, we also have a Patreon. If you want to help support the time on the channel, you can go to patreon.com/Kyber Cave Productions and support us for as low as $1 a month. But every May, we give away we do a special Saber giveaway for the top 2 tiers of our Patreon. But there's a stipulation. You must have been subscribed for at least 3 months from the year before, 3 months. And the next month is the deadline, in a sense, for you to be a patron on that giveaway. Right now, there's only, I think, 1 or 2 people in those tiers. So if you sub to those tiers, you're gonna have a pretty good chance
Oh, you're
of
gonna
winning
win.
a Saber. Yeah.
You're gonna win.
We do, yeah, you're gonna win one probably. So if you want to go sub, we have a friend and family tier. If you sub at those for 3 or more months in the year before the giveaway, you are eligible for that giveaway. So please check out patreon.com/Kyber Cave Productions. All right, guys, thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your week and enjoy Talk of the Town. Bye.
Bye.